Hello and welcome to the Quebber channel. I am Jason, your host, and I wanted to talk about sleep and how hard it is for a disabled person to get out of bed. Now, I aren't unique, I aren't the worst off, I am just me, and so I can only talk about the factors that affect me. It is now 4:48 in the morning. I woke up about, I would say, an hour ago. Actually, 1 hour 47 minutes ago, because I remember the time. And I am now here. I am awake-ish. But let's start with going to sleep. It doesn't matter what time I go to sleep. It doesn't matter what I've tried. Eating late, don't eat at all. Blue light on the monitor, not using computers, not using phone, exercising before bed, not exercising before bed. Nothing seems to work. I will go to bed and have to make sure I get to sleep in a certain routine. And this is the routine that works for me. The first thing is I will watch an episode or an episode and a half of Scrubs. Scrubs seems to be the best thing to watch. It helps my brain shut down. Why? Because I've watched the Scrubs series probably 150 times. I go all the way from episode 1 to the end of series 8, and then I restart. I only watch it late at night. I only watch it when I'm trying to sleep, and my brain knows the series so well. There's no surprises. It helps my brain settle. I turn it off when I feel that I have watched enough of an episode, probably 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, I don't know. It's different every night. If there's something comes on my mind, I have to keep watching until it goes away. So then I get to sleep. Of course, a simple note, I don't watch Scrubs on a streaming service. I actually have it physically on a hard drive downstairs that streams to thingy. Why? Because if I had to stream it, when I lay down at bed, my brain would say, what happens if Putin attacks the UK? What happens if there's a power cut? What happens if your internet goes down? What happens, and so on and so forth. So having it physically in the house with battery backup, of course, that I could use if it comes to it. Those things don't come to my mind before trying to sleep, and so I get to sleep. I woke up, so I got to sleep about, I would say about 10:35, 10:40, which is a good thingy. My brain just sort of shut off and went to sleep, and I woke up at 3 minutes past midnight, which is normal for me. In fact, getting over an hour and a half sleep is like, whoa, that's amazing. So at that time, I took a drink of water, I turned over, and I managed to get back to sleep. That's a plus. That's the first thing, trying to manage to get back to sleep. Then I woke up at 2 o'clock. I went to the bathroom. I'm in my 50s. Sometimes sleeping through the night anyways, sometimes they're hard. And I got back to sleep. And I woke up at 3:01, I believe. Yes, 3:01. And I could tell as I woke up that my brain was already active and thinking about things and that, and I wasn't going to get back to sleep. But it's 3:01. I didn't want to get out of bed, that was a mistake. I should have got out of bed straight away, instead of laying in bed for another thingy, because as soon as I started to I'd lay in bed, then my brain started to wander in directions, thinking about the PIP, thinking about when are they going to switch me to Universal Credit? Will I be able to fill it in? Will they cancel my everything? All's going through my head. My brain started to think about, what about my computers? My computers, are any of them going to break down? If they break down, do I have a backup? What's the layer of backup? Have I turned on my backup computer? Have I backed it up to the point that if my main computer dies, I can turn that on and it can take over? What about my Plex downstairs? What about my media files? Are they okay? Next thing, I look at the phone and it's 4:40, and I realise that if I don't get myself out of bed, if I don't make a move, if I don't marshal my energy, remember, I've only had like a few hours sleep and I'm fatigued already, and if I don't get out of bed, then I may not get out of bed till 10 a.m. And if that happens, then I'll be completely wrecked, because just lying in bed and my brain going in really bad directions is a very bad thing. And I'll probably not go out of bed until the dog prompts me because it wants to go outside or have its breakfast. So at that point, I tried to, all the noise in my head, all the things taking me in different directions and pulling away from my brain in all different ideas about the war in Ukraine, about Gaza, about life and death, about how many more years have I got to live, how healthy is my heart? Is my heart going to fail today? Am I going to have a heart attack today? The odds are, if I do this, will I choke today when I get out of bed? When I try to eat, will I choke? And can I make it downstairs to the front door and open the front door so that I don't choke in the house? Because I don't mind about choking in the house. If I choke in the house and die, it will be terrifying. I will hate it. But got to make sure the dogs have got water. Because if the dog's got water, then it won't die of dehydration. Someone will notice, someone will find out. They'll notice that I don't talk on my channel, and therefore they'll come to my house and they'll break in. Well, I hope they figure out how to get into my house, because my door is very strong and they'll have to break in, and I don't want that trauma on the dog. Yeah. I have to get out of bed. And then I came here and talked to you. Normally, the first thing I do when I get out of bed is turn on my phone and turn on my Audible book. So I've got that low-level Audible, my story going on in the background that helps keep my brain settled. That isn't a bad day of going out to bed. It isn't a good day. It's just a day for me. And like a lot of disabled people, by the time I do get out of bed, we're already exhausted. Whereas most normal people don't even think. You might have a hangover, you might be tired, you might have stayed up too late. You'll get up for work, without even thinking about it. Every action after I get out of bed has to be measured. precise. I can't let those thoughts take me away. I can't let my different parts of the issues I face go in different directions, because bad things will happen. And believe me, I don't want bad things to happen, because that can be a really bad day. My normal day is bad enough. I don't want a bad day. So here I am. I've taken the stuff that was on my brain out of my head and given it to you. And in a few minutes, as soon as I turn this off, I'll turn on my Audible book and I'll start preparing for the day. I'll start marshalling my energy to... I haven't put away the sofa bed yet. The dog's still sleeping on it. It's a little bit early. But I've got to have a wash. I've got to brush my teeth, because if I don't, it isn't because I'm being tidy, it isn't because I'm being neat or clean. It's because if I don't brush my teeth, my brain will notice my teeth and notice the texture on my teeth, and then 3 or 4 hours could go past. I have a wash with a little bit of water, not because I want to be clean, but because if I don't, then my eyes will itch because of the sleepiness around my eyes. And that can focus my brain, and I will spend hours just sitting there, not moving, while my brain focuses on my eyes. I only have a shave when my brain notices the whiskers on my face. I only change my clothes when they begin to feel icky to my brain. I only have so much energy, so I have to leverage the very things that make me disabled to do things. Once again, it isn't a bad day. My backups are in place. But behind it all is like a new little voice, a new little thing I've got to deal with. And that is, what happens when they cut your PIP? What happens when you can't afford the backups? What happens when things start to be sold and you don't have the money to do anymore? That's a new threat to my stability that my brain is having to create a coping strategy for. And it's very hard to create a coping strategy for it, because it's something that's going to happen, and I don't know how to beat this one. I have some plans in place. Those plans are over the next... I've got to survive until later in the year. But it's a layer on top of everything else that... And it fights with the other layers. Will my bowel cancer come back? If it does, will I know? Will we catch it in time this time? Do I need to have a blood test? Is cancer eating through my intestines? If I did get cancer again, will I be able to actually fix it this time? Will they? I mean, they took out 40% of my intestines last time. There's only so much more they can take out, and you can't absorb enough nutrition to survive. That's one layer of stuff. that goes on my head. Why didn't you save Paola? Why didn't you cure her? You're smart enough, you're intelligent, you're in the top 1%, your brain, when it functions, is amazing. Why did you fail her? Doesn't have to be real. Doesn't have to be reality. Doesn't have to be real. All these layers of things I have to cope with and try to make sure they don't go too far. Waking up today wasn't a bad day. You wouldn't want to see my bad days. You really wouldn't want to see my bad days. Wasn't a good day. It just started as a day. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I hope you've all got the energy to take what comes. Bye bye for now.